Hey there, everybody. This is Cards and Dice. Tony Porter. We're playing Stratomatic. This is for our classic games, our classic tabletop games program. And we are in the bottom of the fifth inning. The score is 2-0 Mets. The Mets scored in the top of the second on a double, a single, and a fielder's choice. Then in the top of the fifth, it was a walk, a sacrifice, a balk, and then an error on the third baseman, Steve Olivares. So the Mets are up 2-0, and Jerry Koosman's on the mound versus Mike Krukow. And Mike Krukow is in his point of weakness already, and Koosman is still fresh. So it's going to be Krukow leading off here in the bottom of the fifth inning. And that is a 4 off of Koosman's card against Krukow, who bats righty. So that is a 4 and a 10, and that is going to be a strikeout. So Krukow stands there and watches a strike and heads back to the bench. Next is Ivan De Jesus. De Jesus today is 0 for 2 with a flyout and a strikeout. All right, that's going to be a 2 and a 9 versus a lefty, and that 9 is going to be ripped for a base hit. Left center field cut off by Milner, and De Jesus will try to steal. He's a 2-7, an 11, and a 12. And we get the 7, so he's going to go out of 15. Now, Koosman is a -1. He's being held, that's -2. That goes down to a 12. And then Stearns is a -1, so it goes down to an 11. We're running. There goes Jesus. Oh, and he is safe. Gets in under the tag. Tagged by the second baseman, Mian. So that's 1 out and a runner at second base. And here comes Jose Carnell. And again, we didn't roll that D20 looking for the wild pitch, and we'll do that twice now just to make up. Oh, that could be a potential balk. And I have here a 1-2-3 balk today. It's a 6, so it could be a pass ball against Stearns. Let's see what his rating is. Stearns' pass ball rating is... He is a 3, pass ball rating of 3. So we will roll the D20 and we get a 16. So there's no pass ball. He blocks it. And here's Carnell. And that is a 4 off Koosman, a 4 and a 5, and that is strike 3. 2 down. Carnell swings and misses at a Jerry Koosman fastball. And Larry Bittner, a lefty hitter, third place hitter for the Cubs here at Wrigley Field. This is April 9th, so it's a cold day in Chicago. That's a 1, so we may get a wild pitch, and Jerry Koosman is a 1 on a wild pitch, and I doubt we'll get that, so there's no wild pitch. And here is the pitch to Bittner. That is a 5-11 against a lefty, and that is a left field fly ball, X. So it's a fly ball to lifted in the air to John Milner, who moves towards the line. And let's see what's going to happen here with Milner. I don't even know what he is. He is a left field. He is a 4-E10. Terrible. He's a 4-E10. So let's see what do we roll? We rolled an 18. Let's see what happens. And that is a ball that drops in, and it will score a run. Around to score is Jesus. So it's an RBI single for Bittner on kind of a seeing eye, kind of Texas leaguer that was misplayed by the left fielder. And it drops in for an RBI single. And it's 2-1 the score now, with Bobby Mercer coming to bat. All right. And it's nothing there. And let's do this. Bobby Mercer, the pitch from Koosman. That is a 5 and a 6, and that is a chopper to Mian. Gloves it over to first. Inning over. 1 run on 2 hits. And we go to the top of the 6th, 2-1 Mets. And the top of the 6th inning is going to be Kingman, followed by Kranepool and Stearns, 2 lefties and a righty. Here's the pitch from Krukow. That's a 4 and a 5 against a righty. And that is a strikeout. Kingman with a big swing. And he fans. Next is Eddie Kranepool, the lefty. Here's the pitch. It's a 1-9, and that is going to be a drive. And that's going to be over the center fielder's head. And Kranepool is going to slide into second base with his second double of the day. So it's a 1-9er, and that is a double to left center field over the center fielder's head. And the Mets have a runner in scoring position. Here is John Stearns. Throw that D20, looking for that D20, looking for the 1. And that is a pitch to Stearns, and that is a 3 against a righty, a 3 and a 4, and that's going to be a ground ball, shortstop A. Ivan De Jesus will look. Kranepool back to second base. 2 down. And here's Roy Steiger. And he drove in a run with a fielder's choice back in the 2nd inning. It's 2-1 Mets. Mets with a runner at second. 2 outs. And Steiger. Here's a pitch, and that is a 4 to a righty, a 4 and a 5, and that is a fly ball driven in the gap to right field. And on the run is Kingman, and Kingman with the catch. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left, and we go to the bottom of the 6th. Jerry Morales. Morales today's 1 for 2. He's got a single. Here's a pitch from Koosman. And that is a 3-8. And that is going to be line base hit. And Morales is on at first. Ontiveros. I think we bunted with him before, and we were going to bunt again with him. That's going to be a 6 bunt. And we don't know that he's going to bunt, so he is a, what kind of bunt? He's a C bunter. A 6 will be a batter is thrown out. Good bunt to the third baseman. So, got a runner at second base. Do a lot of that. I do more of that in the 70s and 60s than I would now. Here's Mitterwald, and it also helps the pitcher's ERA, by the way, when I do those bunts. All right, here's Mitterwald with runner at second. Here's a pitch. And that is a 6 and an 8 against a righty. And that is going to be a 1-12 single. That's line and base hit. And that will... No, they're going to hold up. Morales at third base on that Mitterwald single off the pitcher card. So first and third now with the infield halfway. Mets looking for the double play. They're willing to give up that run. They are up 2-1, so you know what? They are not going to give up that run. They're going to bring the infield in on this. Oh, there's a potential wild pitch. Jerry Koosman's a 1. We would need 2 1s in a row, and we don't get that. All right, here's a pitch to Manny Trio. First and third, infield's in. And that is a 2-11. That will be off of Trio, and the 11 is going to be a shortstop, but with a plus sign. That's past the diving Harrelson for a base hit single. I can't remember if it's a 1 or a 2. Off the top of my head, I'm not going to look that up now, but I will give him a 1 base since he is a rather slow runner. So it's first and second. Here comes Krukow. And we will square away with Krukow. Krukow, I think we said he was a B bunter. This game is tied now with runners on first and second and 1 out. and we are going to let Krukow bat. We're going to bunt with him. He's an A bunter, so that would put him as a B. And that is an 8 with a B bunter, but we know he's going to bunt, so that brings him down to a C. And batter is thrown out at first. Runners advance 1 base. So it's bunted to the first baseman, who tags Krukow, and that moves runners to second and third now for Ivan De Jesus. All right, here the infield is regular depth with 2 outs, just getting that 1 out, looking to get that 1 out. Here's the pitch to Ivan De Jesus. De Jesus is 1 for 3 with a single and a stolen base, and that's going to be a 2 against a lefty, and the 3 is ball and a 5. Oh, with 2 outs, the single is going to turn into a pop-up, and that's going to be the second baseman calling for it. Mian, he's there, and that retires the side. It's got the little horseshoe symbol, and that turns a single into an out with 2 outs and runners on second. So that's going to be 1 run on 3 hits. An exciting inning for the Cubs. They tie the ball game at 2, so we got a pretty good ball game going here. All right, it's Krukow still in there. Want to keep him in there as long as possible. Remember, you don't get every card with Stratomatics, so that creates a situation where you want to kind of let those starters go just a little bit longer, because you never know how many relievers you're going to have. So it's going to be Buddy Harrelson facing Krukow. And Harrelson today is into a fielder's choice and reached second on a wild pitch, and then walked, been sacrificed to second, reached third on a balk, and scored on an error. So he's been busy on the base paths. That's a 3 and a 5. 3 and a 5 is going to be a 1-7 single, and that is a 12, and that is going to be lined and caught by the first baseman, Larry Bittner. And Jerry Koosman in bat. Again, this is the 70s, so we let pitchers bat. That is a 5. That will be off Krukow against a righty, a 5 and an 8, and that is ball 4. So he walks the pitcher, and that's probably the last thing that he wanted to have happen. And here is Lee Mazzilli. Lee Mazzilli, a B bunter, and he will be bunting to set up Mian. And here's the bunt by Mazzilli, and that is a 7. I believe it's a good bunt. He's a B, it stays at a B. And batter's thrown out by first baseman, so it's a good bunt, and that moves Koosman over to second. And it's Felix Mian now with an opportunity to put the Mets up here in the top of the 7th inning. Gonna roll that D20, see what happens. Don't get anything there. And this is my stadium tribute to Tom Seaver. And thanks for the cards, Sebastian. And it's Felix Mian. That's a 3 and a 6 versus a righty. A 6 is going to be hit hard to the third baseman. And up with his Anaveras, throw to first, high throw, but nice stretch by the first baseman, Bittner. And that retires the side. No runs, no hits, 1 left, the walk. And we move to the bottom of the 7th inning. Like these games in the 60s and the 70s, and even in the 80s, you can let pitchers go and kind of enjoy the pitching performance a little bit more than you can now, where they reach their pitch limit, and regardless of how they're doing, they get pulled. Jose Carnell, he's 0 for 2 today. A couple strikeouts, a walk, and a stolen base. That's 1-8, and that is a strikeout. So he swings and misses at a Koosman curveball, dropped right off the table, and baffled Carnell, who did not look very coordinated with his swing. And here is Larry Bittner, the lefty. He's 1 for 3 with an RBI. That is a 1 and a 4, and that is chopped to the third baseman, who gloves it, and Steiger throws him out. 2 down. Mercer. Koosman. It's a 3-8, and that is popped up right side. First baseman Cranepool. 3 up, 3 down. Top of the 8th. 2-2 the score. He's gone. Okay, so he can go 2 more than his point of weakness. So we're going to replace the pitcher. And we are bringing in... Ooh, I had a couple of guys set up already. We're going to bring in... Who's batting? Willie Hernandez. Facing John Milner. So Hernandez... And here goes John Milner, who is 0 for 3 today. He's struck out and grounded out a couple times. Willie Hernandez is a lefty. That's a 6. That's going to be off Hernandez. A 6-11. And that's a fly ball. And that is in the gap. And after it is Morales. And he chases it down for out number 1. So Milner with a drive. Run down by the center fielder Jerry Morales, who looks like he can cover some territory out there, although he's not graded very highly by the Strat graders. This game was created in 1961, so it's been around a while. So I guess it was developed in the 50s. Cold War era. Here's Dave Kingman, 1 swing of the bat, and Kingman can put the Mets up. That is a 5 and a 4. That will be off the pitcher. A 5 and a 4. Oh, he just missed it. This is a ballpark single, 1-13. It's a hit, and it's base hit for Kingman. Lines one to left center field. Cut off by Carnell, by Morales. Excuse me. And here's Steady Eddie Kranepool now. Kingman will try to steal. Why not? Have fun with this today. And that's a 12, and he goes, and the throw down from Mitterwall, and the tag, and he is out of there. 2-6, caught stealing for Kingman. And we never threw the wild pitch roll. All right, so we did it there. So anyway, Kingman is out at second trying to steal. 2 out, and here's Ed Kranepool with a 1 and a 9er, and that is a fly to left. Towards the line is Carnell, and he runs it down for out number 3. No runs, no hits, 1 hit, none left. And the score is 2-2, bottom of the 8th. All right, and it's still Koosman. Koosman is still in there. What I start doing when I play a team, like I'm replaying the Mets, so what I start doing is putting the Mets into sleeves, because that's the team that I kind of grab the most, so to prevent them from getting real soiled. And when I sell this set at some point, or I contribute it, then it'll still be in nice shape. I don't want one team to be all worn out and all the other teams to be in good shape. So I usually just protect the team that I'm using the most, and the pitchers who I'm kind of flipping constantly. So it's Jerry Morales leading off here against Jerry Koosman in the bottom of the 8th. Here's the pitch from Koosman. And let's see if it's a good one. It is a good one, and it strikes out Jerry Morales. All right, here's Steve Ontiveros. Ontiveros is 1 for 2 with a sacrifice and a single. Here's the pitch, and that's a 6 and an 11 versus a switch hitter batting from the right side. And that is going to be a 1-8. It's a split. 1-8 is a single, and that's a 14, and that's going to be line and caught by the shortstop, Harrelson. 2 down. George Mitterwald, he's 2 for 3. 2 singles and reach on an error. Pitch from Koosman. And that's a 3 and a 5, and a 3 and a 5 is going to be a drive down the line, and that's going to get past the left fielder, Milner, into the corner. Mitterwald hustling around first into second base ahead of the throw with a stand-up double. So Mitterwald with a 2-out double, and that puts a go-ahead run at second base with Manny Trio coming up. And we're going to face Trio. We're going to throw that D20, looking for that 1. So Koosman's got to reach back for a little extra here with the go-ahead run here in the bottom of the 8th at second base. Now we're not going to, we could pinch run. Let me see what I got here on let me take a quick peek at at the let me see the double. Choice. Hold on a second. Let's undo that one. We have fielder's choice again. All right, now Harrelson hits another fielder's choice, and then there's a wild pitch. And then there's a fly out to right field. All right, so let's see who we have to pinch hit for the... All right, we have Greg Gross, a lefty. We're going to bring in Gene Klein's a righty. Wallace, so Joe Wallace, a switch hitter. Pinch run, that's what I was looking for. Pinch runner could be Gene Klein's. And who's my other catcher? Is Swisher. So that's what I'll do. Pinch running will be Gene Klein's, who is speedy. So we're going to bring in a pinch runner here. Gene Klein's pinch run. And then Swisher, the new catcher. And let's see what happens. Here's Manny Trio. All right, here's the pitch, and that is a 5 and an 11. That's going to be off of Koosman, and 11 is a fly ball left field X. And Milner is a 4E10, so it may drop in. It's not out of the question that the ball, he will not get to that ball. He'll misread it, misplay it. And a 17, I believe it does drop in. No, he makes a running catch in left field. Holy smokes, John Milner saves the day. What a surprise that was. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. And we're going to get a new catcher for the Cubs, and that's going to be Steve, I believe it's, Steve Swisher. I used to call his son Steve Swisher all the time. All right, so it's going to be same pitcher. Willie Hernandez is still in there. And it's going to be John Stearns here in the top of the 9th against Willie Hernandez. Actually got a couple of righties and a switch hitter, but we're going to let him stay in there. All right, and here goes. Here's the pitch. That is a 2-2 versus a lefty, and that is ball 4, so Stearns walks. And Stearns won to run. He already has a stolen base today. In 1977, he stole 9 stolen bases, but he's had seasons where he had up to 20 stolen bases. He was caught, I think, 8 or 9 times, so he will try to steal here. And that is a 5, so he gets a chance to run. And Hernandez is a -1. Swisher, don't know what Swisher is. Let's try to find Swisher here. Oh, it's just saw him. No, Steve Renko. All right, what's the fastest way to do this? Oh, just found him. There he is. Steve Swisher is a 0 catcher. So let's pull Mitterwald. Put Swisher in there. So that's a -1, a -3 becomes a 12, and he's running. There he goes, and he is safe at second base. So Stearns with a walk and a stolen base is second of the day. And it's Rod Steiger. And he's 0 for 3, but he's got an RBI with a fielder's choice. So we are going to walk him to set up the potential double play. And now it's going to be Buddy Harrelson who's going to square. He's going to bunt. He is an A bunter. He's going to go to a B bunter, and that's going to be a good bunt. I don't even have to look at that number. That puts runners on second and third for the Mets. And we'll say 3-4. What difference does it make? All right. And now we're going to have to pinch hit. It's pinch hitting time for the Mets. And let's look and see. They got a lefty that's not coming up. If we bring in a righty, they're definitely going to bring in a righty, and they're going to recall. So we're going to call Bobby Valentine to pinch hit. He's going to be announced. And then in is going to be new pitcher getting called in. And let's see who that's going to be. I'll have to check in a second here. Let's see. 4-4 single, E5 single. 4-4 single, E5 single, and then K. Let me see who we got to pitch. It's going to be Bruce Sutter. Bruce Sutter is going to come. He's going to get the call. He is their closer. This is a situation for a closer right here in a 2-2 tie, top of the ninth with runners at second and third, only one out. It's not a save situation, but we need a guy with the ability of a closer to come in. So it's going to be Bruce Sutter. And Sutter, I'll tell you a little bit about him. Bruce Sutter was 7-3 with a 1.34 ERA. Wow. 107 innings, 23 walks. What a year that was. Bruce Sutter's unhittable. All right. So Koosman's out. And Bobby Valentine's going to be called back. And we're going to get Bruce Beauclair, who tripled in yesterday's game. So Beauclair's coming out. And here goes. Bruce Beauclair, the lefty, versus Sutter, the righty. And second and third. Infield's going to be in on this. And that is a 4 off the pitcher's card against the lefty. A 4 and an 8. And that will be strike 3. Wow. Sutter with the slider gets Beauclair to swing and miss. And here comes Lee Mazzilli with 2 outs and runners on second and third. And Sutter checks the sign with Swisher to the belt and the pitch. And that is a 2 and a 6. And that is ripped to the first baseman, Bittner, who gloves it, steps on the bag ahead of Mazzilli. And that is the inning. So the Mets threatened. No runs, though. No hits. 2 left. A couple of walks and a stolen base. And we go to the bottom of the ninth. It looks like it's going to be Bob Apodaca for the Mets. I don't know if you remember him. Bob Apodaca. All right. And Bob Apodaca was 4 and 8 with a 3.43 ERA, 84 innings, 83 hits allowed. So it's going to be, we're going to protect Mian real quick here, even though he's not batting right now. But so little by little, I'm protecting all the Mets because this is the team that I'm replaying. So I only protect the guys that teams I'm replaying, or the pitchers, which I grab, for the other team as well. So let's put this to the side. We are going to see a pinch hitter here. We did bring in a new pitcher, and we made a double switch. We brought Wallace in. It was Joe Wallace who can play center field. So the pitcher is going to take Morales' place, and it's Wallace batting now in center field. So we made that double switch. Let's write that. Let's make sure we write that in. Hernandez. Then it was a Suter double switch. All right. And we also do that, and here is Wallace leading off against Bob Apodaca. We got a couple of, let me see, De Jesus is a righty, so we got a switch hitter and 2 righties, so we're going to bring in Apodaca. He works. Let's see if I can find him quickly like this. No, did not work. Did not find him quickly like that. Okay. Cutting him down. I'm still doing it, thanks. I know. Just give me another couple minutes. All right. Oh, I had him out already. Jesus Christ. All right. Joe Wallace. And that is a 5. He's a switch hitter batting lefty, so it is a 5 and a 9, and that's grounded to the second baseman, Mian, who gloves it over to first and 1 down. Next is Ivan De Jesus, who's 1 for 4 today, and that's a 6 and a 9, and that is going to be ripped to the shortstop, Buddy Harrelson, who backhands it over to first, 2 down. And here is Jose Carnell. And that is a 5 and an 8. And a 5 and an 8 is a chopper to the shortstop, Harrelson, who charges it, barehands it, fires to first, and gets his man. No runs, no hits. We go to the top of the 10th. Free baseball. So this is where we start doing these lines like this and following the columns down. All right. So I will be back with the end of the game in a little while. Thanks. Hey there, everybody. Tony Porter, Cards and Dice TV, and we are in the top of the 10th inning in an April 9th, 1977 game between the Mets and the Chicago Cubs at Wrigley Field. It is Bob Apodaca versus Bruce Suter at this point. Suter came in with runners on second and third in the top of the 9th inning, and he with only 1 out, he was able to get the pinch hitter Beauclair to strike out, and then he induced a ground out by Lee Mazzilli. So it's Felix Mian starting us off, and let's see what happens. So it's off Mazzilli's card against, of course, Suter's a righty. It's a 1-5, and that is going to be a ball that's chopped to the shortstop. And the shortstop charges. That's De Jesus up with it and throws out Felix Mian. So Mian grounds out. And here is John Milner. And that's a 2 and a 7 and a 2 and a 7. It's ball 4. Milner walks. He's on at first. Next is Dave Kingman, who's actually 1 for 4. And you know that Kingman, with 1 swing of the bat, can give the Mets a 2-run lead. The score is tied here in the top of the 10th at 2. Oh, and we haven't been, let's roll the, there we go, the D20, and it's going to be a 2 and a 5. A 2 and a 5 is strike 3, and Suter gets Kingman. Next is Eddie Kranepool, bats from the left side. And against Suter from the belt. And that's a 1 and a 5. A 1 and a 5 is line base hit to left field. And with 2 outs, Milner, who is a 14, will become a 16. 1-5 is to left field. Let's see who we got in left field and what his arm rating is. It's Carnell in left field, and his arm rating is a 0. So we're talking about 1 to 16 to get to third. But you know what? We're gonna hold him up at second because I'm just extremely conservative, and I think he could still score from second. I rather allow John Stearns to get a chance here. This is going to be John Stearns with runners on first and second and 2 out against Bruce Suter. And here's a pitch. And that is going to be a 6 off Suter. A 6 and a 7, and that's going to be strike 3, and he gets him. So Suter fans Stearns, and that retires the side. So no runs on 1 hit, and we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. I'm sorry, the bottom of the 10th inning. So we go to the bottom of the 10th inning. We are back. Tony Porter, Cards and Dice TV. Bottom of the 10th, runner on second base. Larry Bittner singled off Bob Apodaca. And then Bobby Mercer squared to bunt, moved him over to second base. We got 1 out, and now it's the pitcher who's up. The pitcher's up, and that means we're going to have a pinch hitter for Suter. And let's see who it's going to be. Let me quickly look at my... All right, top of third. We got to get to... So it's the top of the third, and it's going to be 9-6-4. All right, pinch hitters. Aha. So Greg Gross is coming up to hit. Yeah, let's get him. Let's find him real quick here. Car's a little bit sticky when they're new. This was a set sent to me as a gift. I want to thank the person, and I owe them, or owe him a set in the future on me. And it's going to be Gross. We send a card flying here. So Gross is coming up to pinch hit. And we will be walking Gross. So Gross in there to pinch hit, and he will get walked automatically, intentional walk. And that puts runners on first and second. That's going to bring up Steve Olivares. So Bob Apodaca versus Steve Olivares. Let's do this. Let's throw that D. Throw that a couple of times. I don't think we've thrown it. And here's the pitch from Apodaca. Oh, wow. It's a 6-6-6. So that's going to be off Apodaca, and he's a switch hitter, so he's batting lefty, and that is a comebacker to the pitcher X. So we got to look at the pitcher X, and Apodaca is a pitcher 2, and it's over here. So we're going to roll, and it's a 6, so we're going to check for the error rating, and he's an E17. E17, we're going to roll, 2d6, and that is a 3 on 17, and that is going to be a ball that Apodaca bobbles, drops, picks up, fires to first, safe. So it's going to be an E1. And that's going to load the bases. So the winning run here at Wrigley Field is 90 feet away, and up comes the catcher, Steve Swisher. And the infield is going to come in. Outfield is going to come in. Everybody's coming in. Apodaca. It's Apodaca's game to win or lose. So he's gone Hasn't gone very long. This is his second inning. So here goes. That is a 3. That's going to be off Swisher. A 3 and a 7 is potentially a line out. Well, no, it is a line out. Will it be a base hit? No, caught by the third baseman. Whoa, what a snag that was by the third baseman, Roy Stager. Great catch. That's an L5. And here's Manny Trio. So he saved the game there with that defensive play. Oh, and we rolled a 1. Look at that. Look, we rolled a 1. And Apodaca has a wild pitch rating of a 4. So we're going to roll. And nope, it's blocked by the catcher, Stearns. And here's Manny Trio. And that is a 3 and a 7 Trio. 3 and a 7 is strike 3. And he swings and misses at a Apodaca fastball. And that retires the side. And we go to the top of the 11th. So bases are left loaded. No runs. 1 hit. And we go to the top of the 11th inning. All right there, everybody. We are in the top of the 11th playing Stratomatic Baseball. It's the Mets versus the Cubs at Wrigley Field. And there's 1 out. Buddy Harrelson singled. So he's on at first base. And up comes a pinch hitter for Bob Apodaca. The pinch hitter is going to be Ron Hodges. He's a left-handed hitter. He will be facing Paul Rushell for the Cubs. And we are ready to roll. Let's do that. Oh, it's a 1. So Rushell has got a wild pitch of a 1. A 10 rather, and that is going to be a wild pitch, and that's going to get Buddy Harrelson to second base. So puts Harrelson in scoring position. I'm going to roll again here for the next roll, and here goes. The pitch from Paul Rushell is a 6. It's on Rushell's card against a lefty, a 6 and a 7, and that's going to be strike 3. And Hodges chases a fastball outside the zone. And with 2 outs, that's going to bring up the leadoff hitter, Lee Mazzilli, who's 0 for 4 today with a sacrifice fly. Harrelson takes his leadoff second. And Rushell to the belt, and here's the pitch. It is going to be a 1-12, and that is going to be ball 4. So Mazzilli walks. He heads down to first. That puts runners on first and second for Felix Millan. Felix Millan is a right-handed hitter. He chokes up about 8 inches from the bat knob. And Paul Rushell checks in with Steve Swisher for the sign to the belt and the pitch. That is a 3, because that's going to be off Millan, a 3 and a 4, and that is a ground ball hit hard right at the third baseman, who's going to step on the bag for the force out. And that retires the side. No runs, a couple left. And 1 hit, we go to the bottom of the 11th. We're in the bottom half of the 11th inning. It's Bob Myrick for the Mets. He's a lefty, and he will be facing the 9th place batter and center fielder Joe Wallace, a switch hitter batting from the right side, Ivan DeJesus, and Jose Carnell here in the bottom of the 11th at Wrigley Field in a 2-2 ball game. Let's do this. Here's the pitch from Merrick. And that is a 4 and a 9 versus a righty, and that will be a 1-2 single, and it is a ground ball hit hard at the first baseman, Kranepool, and Kranepool scoops it up, steps on the bag ahead of Wallace, and that is 1 down. Next batter, Ivan DeJesus. DeJesus is 1 for 5 today with a single, stolen base, and a run scored, and that is going to be a 4 and an 8, and that will be ball 4. So Ivan DeJesus trots down to first base, and we will try to steal with him. Let's see what we get on that. We get a 6, and he is a 2-7, so we got a jump. And the pitcher, Myrick, is a 0 hold The catcher, Stearns, I believe, is a -1. Plus he's being held, so that's a -3. So that makes it a 12, and he's going to go. And there goes DeJesus, the throw down, and he is safe. Snuck in under the tag. So he is in scoring position for Jose Carnell. And the Mets are going to walk Carnell. That's going to put runners on first and second with 1 out. And up comes Larry Bittner, the left-hander. Oh, and that's a 1. And Myrick is a 4 wild pitch. And nope, it's blocked by Stearns. So here's a pitch from Myrick. And that is a 3. That's going to be off Bittner. A 3 and a 10 is going to be a 1-15 single. And it's a base hit. And that will... No, they're going to hold Ivan DeJesus. It's ripped to right field. And right fielder picks it up on a hop. And they're gonna respect Dave Kingman's arm. And they're gonna hold up DeJesus at third base, so the bases are loaded now. And the winning run is 90 feet away for Bobby Mercer. Infield's gonna come in for the second time for the Mets. Everybody's in, the infield, the outfield. All right, here goes Myrick to the lefty Bobby Mercer. Here's a pitch. And that is a 4 off Myrick, and a 4 and a 5 is going to be a ground ball, second base A with the infield in. Let's take a look at where that is. A ground out, runner on third holds. Others advance 1 base. Obviously, he cannot hold. So, in bases loaded situation, except for 3 instances, the runner on third is out. The batter is safe. So it's going to be a... What did I say? It was 2. It was a 4-5. It was to second base. So it's going to be 4-2. Fielder's choice. And the bases remain loaded. Bobby Mercer's on at first. At second is Bittner. And at third base is Jose Carnell with the winning run with 2 outs. And now the infield and outfield back in regular depth. And here's not Jerry Morales. Jerry Morales has been pulled. Here's the pitcher spot. So we're going to look and see, and we'll be back. And with the bases loaded here in the bottom of the 11th, it's going to be Mick Kelleher as a pinch hitter for Paul Russell. So Bob Myrick so far has allowed the bases loaded, but then has managed a fielder's choice at home. And of course, the leadoff ground ball. So there's 2 outs. Bases are loaded. And here is Mick Kelleher with the opportunity to be the hero today. And we roll the D20. We don't get the 1 or the 2. And here's the pitch. It's going to be off Mick Kelleher against a lefty. And it's going to be a 3 and a 7, and that is a ground ball chop to second base. Mian up with it, flips to second to the shortstop Harrelson for the fielder's choice, and that will retire the side. We're going to get a new pitcher in the top of the 12th inning. So, no runs on a hit, and we go to the top of the 12th in this game that will not end. All tied at 2. We are in the top of the 12th inning in a game that will never end, and we're playing Stratomatic. It is the second game of the season for the 77 Mets. This card set was sent to me as a gift, so I'm playing some games, and it is a fun season for sure, one of my favorite seasons. And it's Buddy Harrelson with the bases loaded, and there was a couple outs in the inning, and then a 2-out double by Eddie Kranepool. He ripped one down the line into the right field corner and made it to second base with 2 outs. And then it was a walk to Stearns and a walk to Steiger. And here comes Buddy Harrelson with the bases loaded. Let's throw the D20. Oh, a 1. And Jim Todd is on the mound now for the Cubs. And an 11 is a wild pitch. This could be the go-ahead run here in a 2-2 ball game. And it is. It's a wild pitch, and it gets past the catcher Swisher. And Eddie Kranepool motors home. Both runners move up. We're going to face Harrelson, and here's a pitch to Harrelson, and that is going to be a 5 off the pitcher. He's a lefty. He's batting from the left side as a switch hitter, so that's going to be a 5 and a 7, and that is a 1-7 single, and that is a base hit, and 1 run will score. So that's a 4-2 lead for the Mets now. Buddy Harrelson picks up an RBI single, and stopping at third is Roy Steiger. So that is, he's a 8-9-6. So we're going to put that in there and do like that. So RBI single for Buddy Harrelson. They could have walked Buddy in, but we are going to allow the pitcher to bat here with 2 outs. And the pitcher batting is a 2. I don't know what we have. Let's see what we had here. We're going to have a 2. Pitcher will bat simply because, oh, you know what? Let's see who we know. We're going to pinch hit. Let's see if we can bring in a pinch hitter for the Mets. Okay, it's going to be Mike Vale pinch hitting for Bob Myrick. And against Jim Todd here with runners on first and third in the bottom of the, in the top of the 12th inning. So in the top of the 12th inning, it's Mike Vale versus Jim Todd. The Mets have taken a 4-2 lead on a wild pitch and an RBI single. And here's the pitch from Todd. And that is a 4 and a 10 against a righty. And that is a, oh, it's a ballpark 1-13 single. And it's going to be a base hit. And another run comes in. And that's going to make it 5-2 the score here in the 12th inning. So the Mets have taken a 3-run lead. And stopping at second is going to be Buddy Harrelson. So we got first and second. And here's the top of the order. It's going to be Lee Mazzilli. So I got a bunch of guys I got to pull out there. All right, so Lee Mazzilli is up. He's a switch hitter batting from the left side against the righty Jim Todd. So Todd has given up a double, a walk. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's on his so relief. He is so he's still okay. I believe. I'm not too sure, but Mets have a 3-run lead, so I'm not going to worry about it right now. All right, here's the pitch to Mazzilli. And that is going to be a 4 and a 10 against a lefty, a 4 and a 10, and that is going to be, again, a ballpark single opportunity, and that is going to be another base hit. And another run comes, oh, wait, no. They're going to hold up Harrelson at third, so the bases are loaded. And here comes Felix Millan. And here's a pitch from Todd with the bases loaded. And it's a 5-5 against a righty, and a 5-5 is a ground ball shortstop X. De Jesus is a 2. I remember that. De Jesus is a 2, and that's a 20. So he should be able to get to that. And he does. And flips to second baseman for the force, and that retires a side. We go to the bottom of the 12th inning. Mets are up 5-2. Another run comes in, and that's going to make it 5-2 the score here in the 12th inning. So the Mets have taken a 3-run lead. And stopping at second is going to be Buddy Harrelson. So we got first and second. And here's the top of the order. It's going to be Lee Mazzilli. So I got a bunch of guys I got to pull out there. All right, so Lee Mazzilli is up. He's a switch hitter batting from the left side against the righty Jim Todd. All right, here's the pitch to Mazzilli. And that is going to be a 4 and a 10 against a lefty, a 4 and a 10. And that is going to be, again, a ballpark single opportunity, and that is going to be another base hit. And another run comes. Oh, wait, no. They're going to hold up Harrelson at third, so the bases are loaded. And here comes Felix Millan. And here's a pitch from Todd with the bases loaded. And it's a 5-5. Against a righty, and a 5-5 is a ground ball shortstop X. De Jesus is a 2. I remember that. De Jesus is a 2, and that's a 20. So he should be able to get to that. And he does. And flips to second baseman for the force, and that retires the side. We go to the bottom of the 12th inning. Mets are up 5-2.